Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, you guys, and welcome to Traffic Report. It is Monday morning. Listen, can I get a sound check here? Mr. Wellens, I know that you're online with us today. Could you give me a little Skype message to let me know that I'm coming through loud and clear? Had a little bit of a technical thing show up this morning on my little machine here on my computer. Want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. I trust that you do. So let's get right into it. Good morning and welcome. This is a Traffic Report. It is Monday morning. It's the 21st of September, if you can believe it. If you can believe it. I think the fall starts in most parts here in North America. The fall begins, I think, in a couple more days. But, this morning I was up bright and early, of course. I get up at 5:15 every single morning. That's my routine, right? Up early this morning and doing some work, monitoring the Facebook page. And all of a sudden I received a private message from Carl. Carl is a programming ninja. Okay, he's one of our programming ninjas. He's one of the genius guys behind the scenes that makes all the things work and all the buttons work and makes it just. He's just a computer programmer. And one of the things I was thinking about is the culture of our community here, the culture of Traffic Authority, and really the culture is defined by each and every one of us, right? We as a collective. The way that we think about our business, the way that we approach our business, the daily actions that we take in our business. And certainly, as a collective, the way that we approach every single day. And so this morning, that was really, like a bell went off. I was thinking about what a great place we're in here and how exciting it is to be here and all of the momentum we're sharing and how so many of us are collectively just dealing with stuff and all the chatter that goes on in our brains and everybody here is just moving towards the target so efficiently. It really is amazing. And then this morning, as I was having this thought, right, as I was in this place in my mind, I'm on Facebook and blink, how I get that little pop-up message and it's from Carl. And Carl, like I said, he's like one of the ninja programmers behind the scenes who does the ones and the zeros in the computer programming. And what Carl put in there was, he said this, thought for the day. Here's what Carl started his day with and my day. He said, nothing is impossible. Even the word says, I'm possible. Have you ever dissected the word impossible and cut it into two words? It's actually I''am possible. I am possible. So thank you for that, Carl. Our culture being defined by all of the people around us in our community, and that was really, really amazing. And in a minute, if you'll stick around, I'm going to get to a quote from H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells, he's one of the famous guys from, I think he was born in the 1800s, but he's a very, very interesting guy. He was a writer, movie maker. This is just, we will sell no wine before it's time. That was Orson Welles. But stand by for a minute because I'm going to get to that in a moment. I'm going to tell you exactly what H.G. Wells said and why that's important to us. Before I get there, though, I do want to welcome everybody to a Monday morning. My name is Joe. You are listening to Traffic Report. For those of you, the hundreds of you that got started with us, like there's hundreds of you guys that got started with us since we closed the call on Saturday. This is what's really, really cool, right? Since Saturday, when Doug and I concluded the founders call, we've had hundreds of people join us. So welcome to those of you who are brand spanking new. Welcome to our tribe. Give you a little bit of an overview here what we do. This is called Traffic Report every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the place where you can come and share your enthusiasm and let us know how it's going. If you have a question or two, we're here and happy to answer your questions. Also, I want to remind you that we do a Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern. That's where you get to hear from the founders, Doug, Greg, Chad, and they're invited guests. Sometimes they'll have somebody else on there. They've had Adam in the past. So that's a call that's really, really cool. We archive all of this stuff, of course, at radioleverage.com. Every single radio show we've ever done is there. Tens of thousands of people around the world listen to those shows. That's pretty cool. That's exciting. Also, webinars. We've got a full schedule of webinars. We will be doing one tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Watch for that. We also have one we do on Thursday night. Now, tomorrow night, we're going to get into some training, okay? We're going to actually break some stuff down for people who are resellers, okay? We're going to get into some training. We also have some content coming up this week for Traffic Academy members. Not everybody is in the Traffic Academy yet, but for those of you who are Traffic Academy students, wait till you see what we got coming up for you guys. Thursday nights, we do something that's a conversions webinar. Okay, it's designed for people who are in the process of making a decision, due diligence. They're making a few phone calls. They're checking us out, right? And so on Thursday nights, we come together and we do a conversion webinar. We hear from people who are having results. We lay it out for people exactly what do you get, like what are the costs, what are the benefits, and we go into that. It's going to be pretty cool. We did our first one last week. It's still there. Again, I want to thank the thousands of you that did watch that webinar. Maybe. Is it possible? Is it maybe that we had hundreds of people join us since last Thursday because the conversion webinar is working, even though it's our very first one? Is it working? Yes, I think it might be working. Also, I want to put this out there, right? And maybe you can write this down. Write this down on a pad of paper. You never know. You never know what's coming. You know, I'm very, very confident that very, very soon, out of the clear blue sky, you guys are going to receive an email, and it's going to be like, guess what? In 30 minutes, one of our top leaders is going to be on a conference call, and they're going to be interviewing people who have just opted in. So you can actually pick up the telephone, dial in, and listen to one of our top guns, have a brief conversation with somebody that's just getting started for $20 or $47 or $144. How cool is that? So you always want to be plugged in, right? Make sure that we are whitelisted. We meaning Traffic Authority. You know, we're sending out emails pretty much every single day now. This morning, we sent out an email to every single member. It's the basic, rudimentary, very basic, fundamental email. You'll be seeing that stuff getting purdied up, you know, as we move forward. Remember, we're just getting started here. But for now, it had all the information. It had a link to your daily marketing plan in there. It had a link to the to the Facebook page. And for those of you who, you know, brand spanking new, the hundreds of you that get started here, that's where you really can get some information every single day. Watch for that. Every single day you'll be receiving. Some days you'll be receiving 2 of those. You never know. So here's what we do here in the morning, okay? For those of you who are joining us right now, we have got a whole bunch of you guys online. And apparently a bunch of you guys know what to do. I'm looking right now, there's probably well over a dozen people who've already pressed 1 on the keypad of your telephone. And so here's what the routine is here. Here's the drill, okay? If you have a comment, or maybe you have a question, all you have to do is pick up your cell phone if you're listening right now at radioleverage.com. And it has to be in real time, okay? I mean, we have thousands of listens 24 hours a day. But right now it's Monday morning. I'm looking at the clock on my computer. It's 8:08 a.m. on Monday morning out here on the West Coast, 11:08 a.m. on the East Coast in North America. So if you're listening live right now on the live stream, I invite you to pick up the telephone, dial to 914-338-0631. Now, when you dial the number, you'll have an opportunity to press 1 on the keypad of your telephone. And when you press 1 on the keypad of your telephone, I get a little alert. Blink. A little blue light comes up, and it tells me this person wants to come out onto the radio show. So that's the drill, okay? If you want to have a comment, you want to make a comment, you want to ask a question. Now, here's the story with the questions, okay? Here's the deal with the questions. Questions are, we're happy to answer every single question. Absolutely. However, I'm going to ask that you watch all of the video content that we have available to you before you ask your question. Because we have found that 10 out of 10 questions are handled in all of that video content. That's why that video is there, so that you and your members and people who join you in the future have the content, have available to them all the content they will need to get started in business, no matter where they are in the world, no matter what time of the day or night that it is. Now, you have to do the work here. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about this morning, about you have to do the work. I was on Facebook this morning and I was answering some questions on Facebook, and I find when I get into it, when I'm answering questions on Facebook, confident that nearly 100% of the questions are coming from people who didn't watch the videos. That's what I have found. Now, I know people are in a hurry and they want to get going, but let me say this right now, okay? The focus for you, the focus for me, actually the goal of Traffic Authority, the ultimate goal at the highest level, right? Everyone, yeah, I want to make that money. Yes, I want to make a couple hundred, a couple thousand. I want to make a lot of money. You know, I mean, everybody's looking for that financial relief, right? Our ultimate goal here, beyond the financial relief, is education. Okay, we want to empower you. We want to encourage you. We want you to inspire you to do the work and become educated. That's the goal here. The goal here is that you become a master of list generation and lead generation, and then, you know, managing data. That's the ultimate goal. That's really what's going on. And I know that a lot of times, because I see it on the Facebook page, people are panicking. They came in here for $47 and they spent $100 on traffic, and their traffic isn't running, and they're freaking out, and they're sending in 5 support tickets. Simmer down now. Simmer down. The goal here is for you to get educated, and that's for real. Okay. So when you press 1 on the keypad of your telephone today, I'm going to ask you to, if you have a very specific question, like last week, we had very specific questions. And many of the times those questions were related to someone's browser, or had they rebooted their system, did they clean their cookies? And we thank you for all the comments and all the questions, because there are still some things that show up from time to time. You know, there is a little hairy monster bug, or like every once in a while something like, remember Caddyshack the gopher? Every once in a while a little gopher will show up. So we thank you guys really for bringing your questions and comments, but I'm going to ask you guys to really make sure that you are watching all the video before you bring your question out. And which brings me to H.G. Wells. Okay, H.G. Wells, he had a quote, and it kind of reminds me of this conversation we're having right now. He said, H.G. Wells said, the path of least resistance is the path of the loser. The path of least resistance is the path of the loser. And what that is, what the metaphor for me is that, you know, individuals who want a shortcut to the, okay, my traffic isn't running, and how come people aren't clicking links? And, you know, I'm thinking that that's the path of least resistance. Don't bother me, Joe, with watching 6 hours of video. Just tell me. Don't bother me with having to watch that. Well, that's the path of least resistance, right? You don't. Some people, you know, they really don't want to put in the time. And if you don't have the time, here's something I'm going to drop into your noodle. If you don't have the time to watch all of the video in your Traffic Authority business, I will make a very broad statement here. I will make a very, very broad statement here. If you don't have the time to watch the videos, if you really don't have the time, then you really can use Traffic Authority. Because ultimately, when you learn the skill, when you actually understand how you do email marketing, internet marketing, when you really understand that, you can begin to live a lifestyle. I'm talking, you know, 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. What if you're making that 6 figures, multiple 6 figures a year, and you're working 4 hours a day, 4 days a week? You'll have plenty of time, won't you, to watch video, because you're making all the money that you can possibly spend in 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. Now, the caveat here, okay, is like I say this all the time. Most people, and this is the truth, okay, you think we're internet traffic brokers here? We really deal in the truth. The truth. Okay, we're truth brokers. Okay, I'm on the record right now. We're gonna share some truth. There is a pot of gold here. There is riches beyond your wildest imagination here. It's here, and there is social proof that it's here. However, most people will never get there. And the proof is that people don't even want to watch all the video. You know what I mean? I mean, you have to do some basic work here. There are some fundamentals. There are some disciplines. And we do our best to instill in you those disciplines. And we show you exactly what the slight edge is. And we give you done-for-you marketing and point-and-click marketing and all the landing pages. I mean, it is totally there. It is there's no luck in traffic authority. There's no luck. But you have to do the work. And you have to put in the time. And your first traffic buy perhaps doesn't yield the result that you're looking for. Well, maybe the result is actually there. You'll hear Eric and some of our top leaders, you'll hear them talk about stored energy, okay? So maybe you run your first traffic campaign, and your first traffic campaign pulls in some leads, but only a couple people got started with you. Well, there is so much stored energy in the leads that you have acquired. That is rocket fuel. And if you stick here long enough and you understand how to do this and you really understand list building, you can go back in there and tap that resource. Those leads, okay? Seriously. However, I got to put it out here. It is simple to do that, to stick around. It is simple to show up for every single webinar, every single radio show. It is simple. It really is simple to actually go through all of the videos and follow the training. It's simple to do. It's already been done for you. But is it easy to master the discipline? Is it easy to listen, to really focus, to really pay attention? Is it easy to show up every single day? Never miss. I'm one, right? All the way back to February when I first got started with Greg and Doug, I have been here at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every weekday. Every single one. Go back and look in the archives. Go and take a look in the archives. And you will see that there has been a live radio show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time since February 1st. I have never missed one. And I can tell you my results are off the hook. Things are happening in my life and my business and my relationships, my business. It is like I have put in the time and I show up. And as a result of that consistent effort, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, this is September, for 9 months, at 11 a.m. Eastern, I am here. That's the slight edge. I am living proof. I am living proof that if you do simple things every single day, magic will happen. It's not easy, though. There have been plenty of times that I felt like crap when I didn't want to do it, when I didn't have anything to say. There were times way back when working with Greg and Doug, when we just had a handful of people. You guys know who you are. Mike Chavez, Jake Lee, Hickley in New Jersey, Darren Rogers. You guys been here since the very beginning when there was we would do a radio show with 5 or 10 of us. But we kept going. Before you know it, now we have tens of thousands of us. It wasn't easy to drag my butt out of bed at 5:15 every morning so that I am prepared at 8 o'clock. It was simple, but it wasn't easy. So for each and every one of you, I want you to have a big picture, a big focus on what this really is. This is transformational stuff. And I know that you're sitting here going, oh, it's just clicks, it's just traffic. It isn't clicks. It isn't just traffic. It's education. And I know that there are many people who have come through the pipeline and said, really? $144 a month? Come on, I want the top tier. I only want to sell $20,000 programs where I can make, $15,000 commission. Well, have at it. In those programs, there's never really community there. But here you got something completely different. You got people who truly care. As I said, here's the approach of business taken by Carl this morning. Thought for the day, nothing is impossible. Even the word says, I'm possible. And remember what H.G. Wells says. The path to least resistance is the path of the loser. You can't what you have to do here. You can't shortcut. You can't. You have to get the education. You have to show up. You have to watch the videos. You have to go through some trial and error. That's all. That's all right. I can go on and on, but I'm going to get the boys out here. Doug and Greg are patiently sitting here listening to me pontificate this morning. Before I get to the questions, and you guys, I'll give you the drill on the questions and on the comments in a minute. Whoa, I can't believe all the people in the queue. Doug and Greg, good morning, guys. How are you guys? Take yourselves off mute, gentlemen.
I am here. I was waiting for Mr. Doug, my brother, to go first, but if he is not going to, I can't wait to hop out here.
Hey, Greg, how are you this morning?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing awesome. I wanted to say good morning to the Traffic Tribe as well. Just a report, day 6 of 90 is now in the books, my friend.
All right, let's talk about day 6 of 90, okay? And this is it's simple, right? All you got to do is go to the gym every day. I mean, you got a cool car. The weather's always beautiful. How simple is that, right? It's very simple. But is it easy, Greg, to get your butt out of bed every single morning when you don't feel like it? You got to drive there, and it's guys pumping iron, and it's, you know what I mean? Is it easy to do that? But you know this.
I've got to tell you, Joe, the way I do it, it's actually I work a 3-workout split. And unfortunately, the way that it worked out today was legs. And anyone that knows, Monday's hard enough, dragging your rear end out of bed to hit the gym, but it's even harder for legs. But nonetheless, my friend, because I'm on a mission for 90 days consecutively, I'm making it happen. So, and with that, again, one of our friends, Chris Reef, he's a publisher of ours and, also affiliate here, he actually created an interesting video. I'm going to be testing it this week, called the 90-Day Challenge, which is a BizOps 90-Day Challenge, which is kind of cool. I mean, that idea of 90 days, Joe, can be transformational. But, it is interesting to watch our Facebook group and to watch even seasoned networkers here. I can't believe how many people have, PM'd me to say, I've run 300 clicks and I've not made $1 million yet. And these are people that I've been talking to for, 6 weeks. Again, I'm going to, be setting expectations some more certainly this week so people understand, what it is we're doing. With that said, Joe, I also want people to know that we are always going to be tweaking conversions. I mean, I've got some huge plans this week to be, making things go better. So again, with that said, we are on a journey. This is a journey. It's not, just necessarily, we do something and it's over. It's not like kind of, walking through a doorway. Wouldn't it be nice if it was that easy, walking through a doorway? It's not quite that simple. It is a journey over time. And over time, we build our list and we also build our skills. And, we build our community. We make relationships. One of the things, I'm going to stop after this. I promise I could go on and on. I'm kind of jacked up today. But, listening to Vince, this guy is so great to have on our team, and really, obviously, we missed him before, but talking about building the relationship with your email list, it's not just enough to have the email addresses. There is a effort that must be put forward so those people look forward to hearing from you and doing business with you. And, again, we're going to be talking about all this stuff, and I just want people to know we're in the second week of the journey. We're just in the very, very beginning of this. And with that said, dude, we still got people making tons of money. Lots of people are making a lot more money. But going forward, really looking, to getting some of these listings and expectations set properly, and having people understand, really where they start and how they progress in this journey. It's not walking through a doorway and getting a $10,000 check. It is a bit of a process to get to that $10,000 check. So, with that said, Joe, back to you.
And thank you very much for those comments, Greg. It is true, and I'm really, really excited to get into this conversation every single day moving forward, because it is about the education. When you look at the top earners here, and you know what, and this is a caveat, okay, disclaimer, okay, the results that you see from a guy we talk about all the time, Vincent Ortega Jr., off the hook, okay? It's crazy what's going on. Most people are not going to make $150,000 in 30 days. Many people will. And whether you do or you don't is entirely up to you. Are you willing to put in the time and stay the course? Like you said, Greg, people, they freak out. Oh, I spent $200 on clicks. I haven't made $1,000. Wow! It's like, they're jumping off roofs like it was like, the Wall Street crash of the 30s or whatever it was last in the 1900s. But the reality of the situation is that a guy, and there are others here, many of you know who Eric, and we talk about Devon, and some of these guys, they've put in the time, right? They understand the skill. They've developed the skill. And that's what this is about. It's about you developing that skill. One of my favorite things that I did here the other day on the webinar we did on Wednesday night is Vincent Ortega Jr. said, yeah, I have spent, 7 years doing this. And he said, I went 2 years before I made my first sale. He said that he had invested millions of dollars in training and systems and education and more training and developing systems to develop the skill set that he has. And he said the goal here for Traffic Authority, as he sees it as one of the top people, is that the average bear, okay, that the Joes of the world, the guys like me, the baby boomers who are like, I got 50 more years to live. What the hell am I going to do? I got to make some money. Okay, the goal here is to compress the 7 years that a guy like Vincent Ortega has put in and compress it into 12 months for you guys. Okay? That's really what's going on here. Before I open a call, I'm going to open it up in 1 minute. I do want to say congratulations to Nathan Crawford. Nathan, I know who you are. We've actually spoken on the telephone. Nathan Crawford, he's an actual member of my group. And here's the interesting thing, right? I spoke with Nathan Crawford about 2 weeks ago, and just now, we got to get a rim shot. We got to get some things. Right now, Nathan Crawford became member 18,000 on our VIP Mastermind group. 18,000 people on VIP Mastermind group. Nathan Crawford, you're number 18,000. I'll have to get back to you. Looks like you're still hanging around, huh? Nathan got here, I think, in the pre-launch. So that's pretty exciting. All right, I guess we've beaten this horse. I don't think it's beaten to death. I think, telling the truth and letting people know what Traffic Authority really is and what your expectations really should be. Now, people do very, very well here, and I want you to consider what you think about every single day. My favorite story is Kara from Texas. We feature her on our webinars. You'll be seeing more from her very soon. When we went into pre-launch, Kara didn't worry about the fact that the e-wallet wasn't set up or one of the videos was hanging up, and she's like, response, what is that? I don't even know what get response is. Kara just went to work and started talking to some people and let the system do the work, let the videos do the work. And what did she say the other day? Hey, I made $1,000 on the webinar the other day. What about Ree? She won an iPad Air. What does she have? She's up to $6,000 in her first month, 3 weeks here. So, there are people who have extraordinary results right out of the gate, microwave results. I promise you that all they're doing is simple things. They're not hung up because the e-wallet company can't read it's like, does it really matter? I want you guys to consider who are struggling with e-wallet. And I'm a guy that went through a full week e-wallet, right? Oh, this isn't matching. Your driver's license doesn't match your utility bill. Oh, okay, your passport picture is blurry. I mean, I was like, does it really matter if your e-wallet is hooked up if you don't have any money coming through? Let's focus on the thing that really matter is my point. Thank you, Kara, for making money. All right, here's the drill. I'm going to say the last 4 digits of your telephone number, and then you're going to come out and give me your first name and tell me the city, state, or country you're calling in from, and then quickly make a comment or ask a question. And again, your questions, if you haven't watched the videos, then I would respectfully ask that you watch the videos. And if your question is very, very specific, what we're going to ask you guys to do is just, send us a private message. One of the guys will get to you right away. And also, I don't know, Doug, are you there? Doug Wellens? I got you off mute here.
I'm right here, brother. How are you?
I'm great. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Doug Wellens. He and I, we rocked it on Saturday's Visionary Founders Call. Yeah, Doug, so what about, I know that there is an enormous amount of attention this week being placed on support. What's happening in that realm? Because I know I'm looking right now, there's got to be, 20 people in the queue waiting for a question. And I know that support is where we want them to go. Could you let us know where we are on that updated support system that's being implemented?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a tremendous admin panel under construction. It ought to be ready here in the next 24 hours, so I've been told. And we have right now 6 people in queue to be bringing on into our support center here, okay? So we're going to be loading you guys up with some amazing support people that are highly experienced and ready to go. we've got an amazing director today in Jason. Okay, Jason's been with us and around us for 10 years now, and the guy's just working practically 24/7. He had to take a couple of days off just to recharge and rewind because he's been going. In some cases, I promise you, he has been working 24 hours a day. Okay, there was a day last week we were Skyping at 4 o'clock in the morning. Jason's working tickets like crazy, right? So. I think that you guys are going to see an amazing thing happen over the next week to 2 weeks, and you won't even remember the days of Greg and Doug hanging with Joe every morning here, okay? Because that may actually stop, right? But for the time being, we're here. We want to get your questions personally answered and addressed as quickly as possible, and the ones that are super critically important, we're shoving right over to the support center and letting them take care of it on the spot here. Hey, there is a couple of people I'm looking for. Maybe during the course of this call, I'll hear and we'll pipe them out here. But, Joe, just the last thing that I want to say, and that is that many, many moons ago, I met this lady. Matter of fact, Greg and Chad and I, we met this lady. And she said these 5 famous words that she used to go out and make 7 figures for herself. And those 5 famous words that have stuck with us were this. She said, guys, your thoughts create your life. Your thoughts create your life. And we spent a lot of time last week talking about thoughts and talking about manifesting change in your life. And now all of a sudden Greg came out this morning talking about the 90-day challenge. And it kind of brought up for me something really important because at the very same time she said those words, I sat back and I said, man, I know a ton of really super positive people that are broke as a joke. There's got to be more to it. So I thought for a little while, and I came back with my 5 key words. And here they are. Your actions determine your outcome. Your actions determine your outcome, right? And so that's it, okay? It's all about taking action. Greg, he's got a 90-day challenge. It's the actions that he's taking right now. And you know what? We've all been through those same 90-day challenges, and they are unbelievable. So, Joe, I just wanted to leave you with that and everybody else here. It's really about the actions that you take that determine the outcome that you will receive in your life. So, that's it, man.
All I got to say is boom shakalaka, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Boom shakalaka. Thank you very much, Douglas. I know you'll be in the wings if anybody has a question for Doug. He's here. Okay, 5232, the most patient person in the world. I think you were here 15 minutes before we even went live on the radio today. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe, Doug, and Greg. This is Holly calling from Los Angeles. How are you all?
We're great, Holly. How are you today?
I am well, thank you. I have a quick question. Over the weekend, I signed up in several Facebook groups. And so I was actually posting all employment opportunities. So I posted in this one group, and I was sharing this with amazing David Jackson. My upline is absolutely wonderful. I was sharing this with him that basically once I posted, the young lady who was over the group, the organizer, replied back and said, so what do you do? I said, I'm a traffic broker. She said, what are you looking for? My reply was, I'm looking to secure traffic brokers. So she said, oh, we don't do that here. Well, it's an employment group. People are looking for employment. Obviously, the people who are coming there need employment. So I just kind of didn't know how to respond at first, so that's why I just checked with him to make sure I was still in line, but that I wasn't, quote-unquote, offensive, if you will. So what other ways could I get around that to the point where I could still be in the group? And I went to look for her later on, and I think she removed me from the group. So what other ways can I get around that so I can still post?
Well, actually, Holly, I would say that, don't try to get around it. I mean, if she rejected that theory, and I want you to consider a couple of things, right? I want you to consider a couple of things. Now, the first thing is people who are looking for a job, they're looking for a job, they have a mindset that is the antithesis of your mindset. It's like you can, I don't know that you can ever, it's like trying to change a fish into a horse. You can never change that fish into that is a job seeker, and they are looking for benefits, and they are looking for somebody who's going to take them by the hand. Really, they're looking for somebody who's going to give them a paycheck, give them structure in their lives, tell them when to get up, when to when they can have a bathroom break, when they go to lunch. You know what I'm talking about, right? They're looking for
exactly.
a paycheck every. So you probably, I appreciate your willingness to go and pave a new area there, but I don't know that you're ever going to really convert those people. I've had this experience in my own life, in my own business, working with people who were job seekers. As one of my campaigns that I did years ago was I was buying resumes and calling people who had resumes in the marketplace and attempting to get them to come into free enterprise with me. And it was just I was speaking a separate language. You know what I mean?
Right. I know.
But the other thing I would say is when someone asks you what is it they want to do as an internet traffic broker, another answer to the question is, well, I supply internet traffic. So I'm looking for people who have a website or who may have a side business. Maybe somebody in the job market actually has a little side business they're running on the internet. So an internet traffic broker, I'm here to supply traffic to people who would benefit from top-tier, high-quality traffic, rather than representing yourself as an individual who is looking to recruit people. Approach that question as it's a retail opportunity is what it is, Holly. And thank you for coming out here. Thank you for your work. Okay?
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very, very welcome. There's Holly checking in from L.A. Good morning, 1650. You're next up.
Hey, happy Monday, Joe, Greg, Doug, and the rest of the tribe out there. This is Barry in Tucson.
Barry, how are you this morning, dude?
I'm doing great, man. I'm enjoying a nice soaking rain, all-day rain going on, and we don't get that often here in Arizona. You guys know that.
Well, I'm living a little north of you up in here in Carefree. I got my fingers crossed that weather's going to come here. It's like I'm looking forward to some soaking rain up here in the desert. What else is going on with you, Barry? Listen, Barry, I know you sent me an email last week. We did send out an email last Thursday night talking to people about, coming to our webinar. And I know that we sent to an entire database. We sent it, and some of you guys, including you, Barry, did receive that email, and it suggested that you had yet to make the decision to join us in Traffic Authority. Well, I apologize for you receiving that email, but here's the good news. Everyone in your database, Barry, who has yet to join our company, received that same email. So I did see you sent me an email wondering if we had you down the right way. So what else is happening, my brother?
I appreciate the feedback, and actually that was cleared up on Saturday when I discovered, I think it was it Greg wasn't with us Saturday, was he? It was, anyway, whoever's, there was apparently a PS at the bottom that I didn't read, so that was cleared up anyway. I knew it didn't pertain to me. I just want to say real quick, like I said, happy Monday. I mean, I look forward to Mondays now, and I don't know when I've ever been able to say that. Who can say they look forward to Mondays with this business? And I used to start my day by reading the newspaper, and no more, brother. I start my day with the traffic report, and unlike the newspaper where I'm feeling, maybe depressed or angry, I leave the traffic report feeling pumped up and rejuvenated and psyched, and it's just, I'm just so glad to be part of this community, man. That's all.
Well, thank you very much, Barry from Tucson checking in. I appreciate you showing up here, Barry. And Barry, I mentioned earlier about way back when, when there was just a handful of us. You were one of that handful. You've been around this neighborhood for a long time, Barry. We really, really appreciate you showing up here, my friend. Thank you very much, Barry in Tucson. 2648. 2648, you're next up. Good morning.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
From Pennsylvania.
Who's in Pennsylvania?
Donna from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Donna, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
I just wanted to say great talk this morning, all through you guys. You all gave a great message this morning.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate it.
And I want to say something ahead of time. I apologize if I missed something here, but my autoresponder, I loaded everything as I said, the API key and everything, and it was all successful on the TNA site. Well, it's not showing up in my Get Response under my campaigns. I've private messaged Greg on Facebook, but he didn't get back to me. and I sent in a support, and I didn't get anything back. So if I missed something about this, I apologize.
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do, Greg. I know that you're online right now. I'm going to come out and have a chat with Donna in Pennsylvania. But what I'm looking to do, I don't know if he's here. I'm looking in the queue. You guys know Diamond Dave from Tinley. We're going to see if we can secure Diamond Dave to come out and do a webinar for us, Greg, on GetResponse.
Did you see his webinar over the weekend? He killed it. He did a great GR webinar, which I will actually post it in the main Facebook site today because it was so informative. But actually, Don, I apologize. I was off Friday and Saturday, and to be honest, I'm a little backed up on private messages.
Okay.
But if you will just send me a friendly reminder right now, which will push you to the top of my list, I'm going to be pushing through those today and tomorrow.
Okay.
I am the resident GetResponse minion, I'll call myself, just because I've done so many of these. I'm happy to go in and get yours figured out as well. Just make sure, Donna, when you hit me today, provide your username and password in the recent message. Some people send me explanations that are literally 4 or 5 paragraphs long.
Right.
I don't want to say I don't have time to read them, but I mean, yeah, I just want short and simple. My GetResponse account has 2 campaigns in it. Please take a look. That's kind of really all I need to hear, and I'll go and take a look at it for you.
Okay. I'd appreciate that.
Excellent. Happy to do it.
Thank you. Thank you for your
You're
dedication.
You're welcome, Donna. Thank you very much. And Greg, I saw that Diamond Dave was doing a webinar, but I think by the time I saw it, it was already over. I'll be happy to see that webinar link. I don't know if Diamond Dave again is listening, but we're going to do our best to get him out here and do a webinar, like a live webinar with some Q&A for the people who show every single day here. So 9190, you're next up.
Hey, good morning from Troy, Montana. This is Earl Teets. It's just such an honor to be here. I mean, Joe, you're down in Arizona. We must have been writing the same thing down. I wrote down in my notes for today to myself, history proves the road to success is not smooth. However, the destination is always at the end. And I just like to clarify that I'm learning from the videos I'm seeing in the back office, and I must be. I got my e-wallet. There's money in it because I took action. And when I got up this morning and I saw my daily marching orders, the daily agenda that you guys emailed us, people, this is just so amazing. When you've got actions to profits on a daily basis, with a mastermind group with you guys that are 7-figure earners, it's just simply amazing. And then Doug, my gosh, you smacked it out of the park on Saturday. I really enjoyed that. That was just awesome. It's such a blessing to be grouped with you guys. Seeing Greg go the extra mile, helping me get my GetResponse set up, seeing you go all this extra way to help the little people getting started here. This is the beginning of such a beautiful thing. And from what I understand, we look at our marketing orders, we go to school in our office university to understand how to build the list. We start generating those leads, and then if we paid attention to the leaders, we look at the fact it took 7 years for Vincent to build his list. But the reason that he's had the success that he's had is about 200, 300, 400 people off that list he cultivated relationships with first, and then brought them to traffic authority. So we're learning how to do this process. And then you turn around and take that list, run it through the traffic authority funnels made by the best, Adam Whiting, the best funnel expert maker on the planet. I mean, come on. You won't find a better converting rated tool on the internet. So I look at all of this. I don't see any way a person could fail if they're just willing to step up the plate, go to work, educate themselves. I'm starting over from scratch. I'm already making money. I really appreciate this system, you guys. Thank you so very much.
And you're very welcome. Earl Teets checking in from Troy, Montana. Earl, we really appreciate your comments, and you are right, man. The path of least resistance is the path of the loser. That's not me. That's H.G. Wells. You got to do the work, and there's going to be some bumps, and that's what makes it fun. 7427, you're next up in the queue. Hello. 7427, are you there?
Yes, hi. My name is Viola from St. Albans, New York.
Hey, Viola, how can I help you?
I'm calling because about 2 weeks ago I signed up for the $144 packet, and I have not received any information regarding it. When I first signed up, I experienced a similar problem that someone else had experienced, that I was told that my card had been declined. But when I called my credit card company, they said that the payment had already gone through. I've been waiting
Viola,
for...
Do you have a username with your...
Yes, I do. Yes.
What is your username? What is it?
It's Loverture. Loverture.
Lovert. I'm sorry?
Loverture.
Okay. I'm going to see what I can do to get this handled for you right now, okay?
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate all that you do. I like the step-by-step plan and the time that you take to talk to us, because I've been in so many systems that people didn't talk to you.
Well, thank you.
I'm very grateful for all of you.
Do you have access to? I'm wondering if you have access to the system, then you're in the system. So I'm wondering. Well, let me just. I'll just send this over.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right. I'm starting to fall into multitasking zone here, which I'm going to avoid doing that right now. 1096. Let's move over to 1096. You're next up in the queue. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. It's Simran from Pittsburgh. How are you doing?
That's good. Simran, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you, guys. Joe, I know you guys been hearing it, but again, every time I call, I just want to appreciate all of you guys. Joe, Greg, I mean, there's a list goes on, and I cannot appreciate, one thing, you guys are here every day to do what you guys to do, and then behind the scenes, there's something not too many people see what goes on, and that's the work I really do appreciate from the bottom of my heart. So thank you for doing all this.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. And then I have a few questions here and there, but I do not go on to this chat just to ask questions. I know thousands of people they're waiting on the thing, and most of the time, your questions do get answered by listening to other people. But real quick, I just have a quick question, because I am setting up everything up here on the capture page. When you look at the capture page, it shows actually a location. In my case, let's say it shows Pittsburgh, and then it says we are immediate hiring Indonesia area. I try to edit that to see if I can go to different areas, but because when I pull the list, I see there probably, let's say, Dallas, Texas, I have more leads there, or Colorado, I have more leads there, and then I'm looking at the time and the IP addresses and all that. I try to click on edit just to see if I can change their geographical.
Okay, may I just interrupt you right there? That's what that is. What you're seeing is that's your IP address is being identified by our system. So if someone in Dallas, Texas responds to your autoresponder, they're going to see their location. Or if they're in Chicago or in Phoenix or wherever they are. That is very, very cool, right? So you're unable to edit that because you're in Pennsylvania. But if you were to send me your link, and I clicked on your link, it would show my city, which is very, very cool. That's some of the high tech stuff that has been designed by Adam and his team.
Okay. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, isn't that cool? You're welcome.
Oh, I'm telling you, this is great. It sounds fantastic. Thank you.
I know. You're very, very welcome. That is a very cool feature that is designed in there for you guys. If you ever go and test your own pages, you'll see your city. Everyone who goes to your page sees the city or the region that they live in. Okay, number one across the board. Who could this be? All ones, 10 ones. Number one.
Well, good morning. This is Frank from beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Frank, how are you this morning?
Fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. Actually,
excellent.
I'm sitting here watching my 5 campaigns that I've got running, just filling up with clicks.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. But I got
Mhm.
a shout out to Greg. If that's okay, I'd like to say,
please.
Greg, what you ought to do is I've been listening to you about your 90-day plan. You ought to challenge the group to join you in that 90-day plan.
Man, what a great idea.
I'm full of it. I'm full of them.
Hey, are you ready to join with me right now? You're coming up with the idea. You got to be my first. It's kind of like Joe put on me dancing out there by myself, and then the one guy joined me. You want to be the one, kind of guy to be the second, so we can actually get the third, and then get the dozens and the hundreds.
Actually, I do. That's why I said it.
Nice.
I got to be honest, you guys. I want to tell you a story. This is because I'm a storyteller, but this is a true story, and all my stories are true. Years ago, I had the opportunity to work with Bill Phillips, the author of Body for Life. Remember the guy, Bill Phillips? And he was a speaker at an event, and I was the master of ceremonies at the event. And he went up on stage and issued a challenge to everybody in the room. And Doug, you might have been there. There was like 1,500 people in the room, okay? 1,200 people in the room. And he issued a challenge, and he said, I'm going to give like $100 a pound for every pound of weight that you guys lose. It was like a $2 million challenge. And so we had to take the Body for Life challenge, the 90-day Body for Life challenge. And it was interesting because out of 1,500 people who said, I will do it, only about 100 people completed the 90-day challenge, because we put together an online opportunity and people could actually follow through, and they could take the Body for Life challenge. But I tell you, I was overweight at the time. I was a big lard ass. And I remember after the thing was over and it was exciting, I could remember going into the back of the backstage area, and Bill Phillips was kind of flippant with me. He's kind of like, well, you got this personal development spiel, and why, if you're so dialed in, then why are you so fat or something like, he's like arrogant, right? And I said, listen, dude, I'm taking your challenge. I said, I'm up for the challenge. I said, and he's like, yeah, well, good luck with that. I says, hey, there's no luck. I said, if anyone has pressure, it's you, because I'm going to follow your plan exactly. And if I see you in 90 days, which we had a full conference in 90 days, I said, I'm going to see you in 90 days. I said, in 90 days, I'm either going to be a lean, mean fighting machine, or I'm going to be a big fat ass. And the responsibility is going to be on you, big mouth. And this is how I was talking to him. You guys know how I behave. I said, because you have the plan, I follow your plan exactly. I'm following your plan exactly, Mr. Bill Phillips. And so here's what I did. Because I had so much going on in my life, I hired a trainer, and I hired a chef. So I had the trainer, and there was a Body for Life of his actual program, the exercises you do every day for 90 days. I said to my trainer, I will be here every day for 90 days. And I said to the lady who was cooking my food, I said, here's the recipe book. So let's do this. I'm only going to eat what's in this book. And so I went to work, and in 90 days, I was a lean, mean fighting machine. It worked. As a matter of fact, Doug Wellens is chiming in right now. He was there. He was there back then, and it worked. And out of the 1,500 people, I told you guys just more than 100 followed up. I came in first. There's me and this guy, JJ. There was another big fat guy. The two of us, we were within a pound of each other, like who really did it and lost the most weight. The reason I share this with you is because, again, it was the slight edge. Bill Phillips knew. He made a challenge in front of 1,500 people. Every pound that you lost was worth $100, and that money was going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Every single one of us were given an opportunity to do simple things every single day. And I love pizza. I'm addicted to pizza. Right now I'm thinking about In-N-Out Burger, and my mouth is watering. And I know that that's not going to do anything for me. But my point is right here in Traffic Authority, Greg's talking about a 90-day challenge. A 90-day challenge for he's going to the gym every day. And Greg, I'm a little scared right now because you're already buff. You are already a beast. 90 days of working out every single day, dude, I'm going to be freaking out. But I think what you're really talking about here is a 90-day challenge to building your success here with Traffic Authority. You just follow the plan, man. There it is. 0416, you're next up. 0416.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you?
I'm great. Alonia is your name?
This is Alonia from North Carolina. I was introduced to Traffic Authority by Mr. Guyman, and I'm also under Mr. Jackson.
Awesome.
David Jackson and Preston. So I'm just loving this. I'm not all the way in yet, but you guys are just so awesome. I cannot believe this. I can't wait. I just can't wait to get it all together. And I will learn those videos, no doubt. I don't go halfway in.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for the comments, Alonia. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. You have a wonderful day.
Greg, isn't that nice? Greg and Doug. Alonia is just coming out here to share some love. Is that awesome?
Dude, I love Mondays.
I know. Remember when Mondays used to suck? When we used to have jobs? I don't remember that far back. Did I ever act? I'm psychologically unemployable. I think I had a paper route once. As a matter of fact, my paper route, when I was a little boy, okay, when I was a kid, like 10 years old, my paper route, I had a paper route for I think it was the Chicago Daily News. I got into free enterprise back then. Okay, back then, I figured out a way that if I would roll the papers, I would give them to my brother Dickie and to his friend Petey, and they would go deliver the papers, and I could stay home and watch Leave It to Beaver and eat Oreos and make half the money. So I was way back then, bro. 9934, you're next up. Good morning, 9934.
Yeah, this is Tony from Fort Worth, Texas.
Tony in Texas, how are you today?
I'm doing great, sir. I just got one question I need to ask. I was in the back office, and the capture page that has my login name, Trey Express, it redirected me to someone else that clicked on that page.
All right, I'm not really clear.
Okay, it's supposed to be my website for Traffic Authority. It has my ID number, which is Trey Express. When you click on it, it redirected, and it was someone else's capture page.
All right.
I was tied into
maybe,
it.
What is your? When you say Trey, what is your username?
Trey Express, Tray Express.
All right. What I'll do, this may be like a tracking some kind of a weird issue. Greg, I'll send this over into support. Trey, Tray Express. Want to make sure that those links are redirecting to Trey Express's site, right?
Right.
Cool. I'll put that in there for you, Tony.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes, go ahead.
Let's talk to this gentleman for just a quick second here, and let me just ask him a quick question. Is it Trey? Is that your first name?
It's Tony. Tony in Texas.
Oh, forget it. Tony in Texas. Okay, I heard Trey. So, Tony, have you personally put yourself into your system as a lead using a different email address than you've got registered for your account and run through your system as if you were one of your own leads?
Right, yeah. I guess it was like a test to see if it worked.
So you've done that, and where do you end up when you do you see yourself in your back office under your leads?
Yes, and because I actually got responded from Vince. I guess he thought I was somebody new, but I wasn't new. I've been in since August 21st. And so I've been trying to find out if my traffic has been going out, and I'm not seeing that respond on that. Everything else is set up, but as far as my traffic, when I went in the back office, just do a capture page, it's like a repeat, and that's what I noticed, that it was redirected.
Okay, so you're asking a different question then. You're asking, where is my traffic question, right? That's what you're asking? How come my traffic hasn't started?
No, not really. I want to find out about the capture page. Why was it? It has my name, which is my Trade Express, and it was like redirected and under Vince. I think it was under Vince because everybody that responded, it was going to Vince.
I think what Trey is saying, what Tony is thinking here is that for some reason, his links, for some reason, coded to Vince.
Right.
Okay, so that's so I don't know who would probably have to dig into that to make sure because, I also know that sometimes there's a cookie in your own computer. Okay, and again, this is very specific and very technical. I'll tell you my own experience. When I do testing on my system, one time I clicked on a link for somebody else, and that other person's link had a cookie set in my computer, and so when I would actually go to any page, it would redirect me to that person's page because that was the cookie that was set on my hard drive in my computer. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. If a cookie is set on a hard drive, I don't even know. All I know is that we want to make sure that if someone goes to your site, Tony, that you get credit for that person. So there are people who. So that's my point. I don't know. Might be like. Maybe clean your cache, clean the cache on your computer, dump the cache, run a scan on your computer or clean, and then go see where those links take you.
Okay. Well, it should not take you to somebody that's already in Traffic Authority, though, if the cookie is all messed up.
No, if you had a cookie, if the very first site you ever went to, the very first site that you ever went to, Tony, the first site that you ever went to was Vince's website. And on your computer.
My first website was from Sean.
All right. Well, listen, Tony. This is again. I've got 16 more people lined up in the queue here, so this is a very, very specific issue. So I know, Trey Express, Doug. Is there anything else that we need besides Tony's username to track this down? Doug, did I lose Doug?
Oh, I'm
Doug,
right
are
here.
you on?
Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I'm right here.
No problem.
Yeah. Just so I have a confirmation of the correct spelling of your username, Tray Express. Is that right? Yep.
Yes.
Great. I did. Okay. Well, I sent it off to support. They'll look at everything. But most importantly, as I was trying to get to the bottom of it earlier with you, I wanted to make sure. And Joe's right. Clear the cookies. Clear the cache. But go register as if you were a lead in your own system using your capture page with a totally different email address than what you've got as a registered email in your system, your registered email account. And then see if you show up inside your system as a lead. And if you do, there's nothing wrong. Okay?
Okay.
And chances are I believe there's nothing wrong. Okay?
All right.
Because this wouldn't be isolated to you. This would be global, and it's not global because you're the only one talking about it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Hope that helped you.
All right, then. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's Tony in Texas checking in. Do everything we can to fix stuff here, you guys. 1190, you're next up in the queue. Good morning.
Hey, good morning,
Good morning.
Joe. This is Don from Melbourne. Good morning, Joe. This is Don from Melbourne, Florida.
Don and Melvin, how are you?
Pretty good there. Well, I have a question there. I've been trying to update my my payment for my billing, but for some reason it won't let me edit or update it.
What is it exactly you want to update? What is it you want to change your credit card? You want to change your address? What do you want to do?
Yeah, the credit card. I'm trying to change that. Yeah.
All right. There shouldn't be a problem with you going updating your system there. I don't. What is it?
Yeah, when I do the edit, it won't move for some reason.
All right. Again, I think this is something that we're not hearing any of this coming from anybody else in the world. I updated my own information over the weekend. What I would ask you to do, Don, is go in there and again, ladies and gentlemen, if everyone would just pay attention, when you find these little things going on with your system, you can't update a file, maybe this issue with the cookies. What I have found in my own experience is that sometimes the simplest way to fix this stuff is to turn your computer off and then turn it back on. Like just go into your clean cache, okay? Like if you look up at the top, I'm on Firefox, Safari. I can go into history, and then it says to clean recent history, clean cache, whatever the language may be. Sometimes you go in there and you just clean out some stuff. Some bugs get stuck in there. Stuff happens. clean it, and then restart your computer. And more often than not, I have found that fixes very basic stuff that happens to me all the time. So that's the only thing I can say to you, Don, is, to update your billing. People are updating and changing stuff all the time in there. We're people are changing their addresses and let me operate as a company. And, I change my personal card every couple of months because I buy so much stuff on the internet, and it's a nightmare trying to have to cancel some subscription. So I just change out my debit cards every couple of months. So I'm always updating my files. And so that would be my suggestion to you, Don.
I appreciate it, Joe.
You're welcome. We'll keep it moving here. 4086. You're coming off mute. Come on, 4086. You're next up.
Yeah. Hi. Yes. Hi. Good morning, everybody. John from Bel Air, Maryland.
Good morning, Don.
Everything's going very well with my traffic. I just started my traffic with a brown package last week, and I'm getting some lead coming in. So to tell you all that it's working, so it's going very well. No sales yet, but we're bringing in leads. I'm getting leads, so that's important.
That's the most important.
However, I do have a question. One question I have is, while I was looking at my autoresponder, I had maybe probably around 2 or 3 people that unsubscribe, and I have one that bounced. And I was wondering, what action should I do with those stuff? When that happened.
Well, I would, and Greg, if you want on here, and thank you very much for calling in, Don from Maryland. I mentioned you the other day, Don, on one of our radio shows. But when somebody unsubscribes, in my opinion, they've unsubscribed. They've elected to walk away. If someone bounces, that means there's a problem with the email address. But Greg, I know that you, in the past, I've heard you talk about people who unsubscribed, and at some point in time, maybe it's worth sending them a very elegant, gentle email. Did I hear you say that, Greg?
There are strategies. Typically, when you hear me talk about that strategy, it's really on someone who's not opened an email in a very long time. It's called a re-engagement strategy. I would never recommend responding, sending an email out to an unsubscribe. That just, it really breaks canned spam. It's not worth it. You could lose your Get Response account. But all I was going to say was twofold. One is, having done this a long time, the typical bounce rate from new data coming across is in the 10 to 20% range, and the reason for that is that people put in the wrong information on purpose. Well, the reason we don't see that with Traffic Authority is we use a service called Xverify, where you're not allowed to put in information that's not valid. In other words, if you guys ever go to one of our landing pages and put an email address in on the email address only field, you kind of see it do a little, quick little Java box. It says verifying. It really is verifying. And if it's not valid, it comes back to say it's not a valid email address. So, again, now with that said, there are other reasons that email bounces. Sometimes it's a matter of someone's account's been canceled, their box is full, they simply have closed that email account for whatever reason. Or it's just one that snuck through our verification system, which is also possible. But it's really we're like 99%. So again, it's a much, much higher valid rate, Joe, than we would have seen in the past. And with unsubscribes, here's my thinking on this. I'm just going to, give you the Greg Chambers viewpoint. Our system actually walks people through, really the information. It's doing the work for you. If someone says no to that, let them go on to the next one. There really is no reason to worry about the small percentage that remove themselves. They're just, they're just kindly saying, hey, this is not for me. And guess what? It's not for, 80 to 95% of the people we're going to communicate with. Let's concentrate on another 5% who want to get started. So that's just my feeling on that, Joe.
Thank you very much, Greg. And well said. Well said. Just let the unsubscribes, just let them go. I will say this, okay, Don, I run campaigns. I've had AWeber accounts in the past, and I have, and I will tell you that sometimes I'll look at the unsubscribes and I'll take it personally. I'd be like, oh, what do you mean unsubscribe? Are you kidding? Oh, what did I say? I might have hurt your feelings. In the meantime, I've got, hundreds of subscribers and 3 unsubscribed, and I'm going to be like, what? I'll get emotionally attached. I talk on the mornings many, many times about the emotional roller coaster of doing this type of work and managing your emotions. Most people are going to take a pass. As I say very, very bluntly in the morning here, and this is with regards to like an earnings disclaimer, right? Earnings. Most of you aren't going to make any money. There it is. Let's be honest, okay? And the reason is because the discipline that's required. Managing this emotion. There are people who are going to see unsubscribes and go run the unemployment office looking for a job on Craigslist because a couple people unsubscribed. If you manage your emotions and you just stay focused on the things that you can control, which is your daily activity, and you follow a step-by-step process that's been laid out here by genius minds. Okay, you just heard Greg talking about a strategy for unsubscribes or a strategy for emails, people who haven't. This is way advanced stuff, right? I mean, the guys who are developing this stuff know so much about what we do that if you just follow the system and you just show up, you are going to have success. Now, what does that really mean? We can talk about success. Like right now, I know that there are people right now who haven't even paid money yet to come into Traffic Authority, and they're realizing a benefit from this radio show. We just heard Alonia in North Carolina. Okay, just not all in yet saying, oh my God, this is amazing. There's so much value here. And if you take advantage and you do the work that you can do, which is just stay focused, get some traffic moving, learn how to develop your own traffic, show up, be at the events, you watch what happens, man. 0940, you're next up.
Hi there. Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Who's this?
This is Kathy Moses. I had sent you a message this morning, but I have a couple of questions pertaining to, number one is, can I change my username, and how would I go about changing it?
Okay, yes, you can change your username. You can do that. And we recommend that if you choose to do that, then you do it immediately. And you will do that in your profile section, right, of your member back office. But here's what you have to know, that when you change your username, it will impact all of the emails, everything in your system. So if you've got a whole bunch of emails, people's emails in their email box right now, and it has your username attached to your autoresponders, you're in jeopardy of losing those. Because when you change your username...
I haven't even started marketing as of yet. So,
okay, then
I've been waiting for traffic to come, and that's another one of my questions is for the traffic. Now, I've been seeing it saying pending after the review of the link. Okay, it says we have reviewed your link. We're reviewing the link. Okay, now it went to pause. Now, once it goes to pause, does that mean that the traffic is in there? Because I purchased my traffic. I purchased the titanium pack back on August the 26th.
Okay, Kathy. Here's again, and thank you for coming here this morning. and I'm going to get to you, Greg, in a moment. And Kathy, if you've been here since August 26th, that's nearly a month ago.
I've been through all the videos. Basically, I've been through the videos. I mean, I don't know if it's been glitches in the system.
No. Wait. Please forgive me for interrupting you, but is this your first radio show? Is today the first time you've come to the radio?
No, I've been on some other radio shows. I've listened and I've been.
Okay, because we have cut this question, I don't know, Greg, how many dozens of times have we talked about, pending link review and then pause? Kathy Moses, this is Greg Chambers, co-founder.
I probably have missed it. I'm going to be upfront with you. I haven't watched. I haven't been on every show.
Hey, no problem. No worries. But Greg, come out here, talk about what's going on there with us. Unpause, pending traffic, link review.
Yeah. All I want to say is that, again, Joe, you're right, we have talked about it, but it's a little bit more relevant actually today than it has been, because the truth of the matter is as of last night, about 11:30 p.m. my time, there is not a single, pending review other than maybe someone, that snuck in and put their URL in, and it's pending now. But all of the ones that were pending previously are now set to pause. And one of the things we learned last week, Joe, and I'm really glad this question came up today, because I'm actually going to float a little Excel spreadsheet in the Facebook group today before 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's going to have one group for people's orders that are sitting on pause, and it's going to have another group for people who are basically their traffic orders are awaiting their destination URL. I'm a little surprised of how many people have not yet put in their destination, URLs from people who order traffic. Very much like this woman, from back, from anywhere from really the 20th of August, through the 10th, which is really kind of where we had all of those orders coming in and really not a lot of traffic running. Now it's running. We really need to have you guys get in there, put your URLs. If you've got a traffic order and, you're not positive about that, be watching Facebook today and watching your email, because I'm going to be sending some things around that give you very clear instructions on how to deal with this. But to answer this, very direct question, that once it goes from pending link review, that basically, just so everyone knows, that is an admin pause. That basically means traffic cannot start before a corporate person at Traffic Authority validates your website is working. And believe me, as I've gone through the orders, this weekend and, just this last week, it is amazing. We have over 50 websites that actually go to dead pages. It's so sad. But the great news is not a single person in that group of 50 lost a click, because we don't allow traffic to start before it's verified. That's why we have pending review. We're trying to help you guys to never waste a click. But once it goes from pending review to pause, then you're in control. You can basically set your daily, your daily limit. You can unpause that thing, and you're off to the races. So, Joe, again, even though we have covered it, it's super, super relevant today. And this week, boy, we're going to be talking a lot about it, because that's a really critical thing. We want people in there putting their domains for where their traffic's going to be sent to, and we want them unpausing the traffic so they start, getting some leads going this week.
Okay, so if I follow you correctly, who's going to go in the domain? If I follow you correctly, what you're saying is the traffic is there. All I need to do is unpause it, start running my campaigns, designate my URL, and then send it to domains where I want to send my traffic to. Like I have get response.
No, not for you. Because if I basically took your account off pending, I've already verified, or one of our staff at Traffic Authority verified. It's also pending now.
I'm saying it's also
totally good. All you got to do is unpause and set a daily limit if you want. And we do recommend people set daily limits, in the beginning. Make sure you kind of are watching things really closely. We want to make sure, we've heard so many people, have a few issues with their GetResponse accounts, like they just simply didn't set it up. All this stuff, start slow, and then over time, ramp it up. Okay. You can increase that daily limit every day if you want.
Okay, what I did is I'm up under Anchor. So Anchor basically went in and set my GetResponse up for me.
Then you'll be good to go. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Okay, and he had told me we was waiting just for the traffic to go live and waited because it was pending the link for you guys to review it. Now this morning, I've been watching it daily. Now this morning I see it says pause. So I'm wondering now, can I start running campaigns and just start doing everything that needs to be done?
Yeah, basically all you need to do is simply I'm going to give you the exact instructions because I now am getting your question a little more clearly. All you need to do to have traffic start right now for you is simply log into your Traffic Authority back office. You need to go to the traffic store. Then you need to click on your active orders. And then from active orders, you go over there, again, you'll see a line on your active orders. Click on the Manage pencil that will open up your ability to manage your order, and then just simply click on just click on the pause, change it from yes to no, and actually your traffic will start immediately. You'll start seeing clicks within the next 2 to 3 hours.
Change it from yes to no. Change from, I'm writing this down, yes to no.
That's all you got to do. You're just not going to be pausing it any longer.
Okay, yes to no. And then what I do is once I go in.
And again, you can come back. You can pause it again anytime you want. You can change you can change where your traffic's going anytime you want. But again, from where you are right now, just start it like we talked about, and you're golden.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because now another thing is about the e-wallet. What I wanted to do is basically, like I signed in under my personal name. What I wanted to do is I have a LLC. I wanted to put it up under my LLC and put my EIN number in there. I keep trying to go in there to do that. When I first started out and when I went through all the videos and I was setting up everything, now when I go to click on the e-wallet, first it was telling me to come back, it wasn't ready yet, just as of yet. And now I'm going back in there, I'm trying to get back in there, and it won't open up to let me in there so I can put all my information in there.
I'm sorry, Joe, I don't know anything about that.
Okay, because I done went from one thing to another now. But okay, I got this on that. But just the e-wallet, because I'm getting ready to get started on basically running my traffic and trying to get everything set up correct. I mean, where I can run it, and then when payments start coming in, I want it to be in there because I haven't put anything in there, and it's telling me that the e-wallet has been basically already set up, and I haven't set anything up in it.
Okay, hey, I'm here, and I heard a little bit of e-wallet conversation here. How are you?
I switched from that to because I got the gist of all the traffic deal. That's cleared. I understand that totally. I'm just now looking at the e-wallet to get that set up. That was my next question because I had 3 questions, and then I'm done.
Okay, great. So have you gone over to your e-wallet portal? And actually
I have been over there. I went to the portal. When I go in, I go to the portal, and basically it's not letting me, open it up anymore. I don't know if it's because when I'm doing it on an iPad or what. But when I can go to my dashboard, you go to dashboard, right? And then when I go over to that, or let me see, I can go right here to it. Let me go to e-wallet. Okay, when I go to my e-wallet, it's telling me that when I try to click on it, okay, now I got my account information. Now let me in there. Today is the first day that it has let me in there. I've been trying to, it says,
right,
welcome
Kathy,
to Traffic Authority e-wallet. Please verify and complete your registration.
Kathy,
okay,
thank you
my
very
name is Kathy Moses.
Listen,
now, what I wanted to do.
Kathy, I want to thank you very much. Kathy, I'm going to have to mute you out there because I got like 20 more people in the queue. And we will gladly have you come back tomorrow. You just said for yourself that you just logged in and it finally did work. I want to just keep it moving, and I want to thank everybody for your patience. And please, you guys, moving forward, if we can, keep it compact. 2959, you're next up.
Yes. Carlos Rodriguez here from New York
Carlos,
City.
how are you, my friend?
I'm great. Great Saturday Founders Call. Doug, I sent you also that video with that that you will send us an email, send you a video over.
You got it, man. Thank you so much, Carlos. You're awesome, bud.
All right. Thank you, guys. I have a little situation. I spent about this weekend with a gentleman, business partner, about 2 hours on the phone. Right now, he's not seeing his unpause button. He actually bought a basic package and the 144. He says this is amazing. So then he went to get a diamond package. But that's not showing up in his end. It's not showing up in my end. And he's just so excited. And there is, we're just trying to get that over working for him.
Thank you very much, Carlos. You're amazing.
But that's my question. And can we help him out? I have his name and his username here. He's just not seeing that little button where it says, can he unpause his traffic? He only sees 2 buttons. I know we had a couple of people before that they couldn't see that, but again, I'm just trying to think about positive things.
I can answer that, Carlos. I can answer the question why he can't see the unpause button. If it's on pending link review, the pause button actually goes away because they don't have the ability to, the individual customers don't have the ability to unpause their orders. once the link review piece is completed, then the pause button reappears. So that's the answer for that. And did you say that he purchased a diamond package but it's not showing up in his back office?
Well, I spoke with him. He first bought a basic package in the 144. I see all of those under my downline, correct? And now he's so excited he went to go buy a diamond package, but it's not showing in his system. It shows a diamond, but it doesn't show the basic. And in my end, it shows the basic, but it doesn't show the diamond.
What's his username? I'll do a little research and give it to you, Carlos.
Username is Rover, ROVER123, and mine is Freedom31.
Excellent. I will.
So yeah, we just trying to move forward, and yeah, he's excited. He just wanted a couple of things to be squared off. And as for me, I'm still not seeing some of my pre-launch members in my original back office.
Are they paying members or have they not paid?
Yes, active members, paid members, and I don't see that in my back office in my traffic authority.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. We'll make sure that when I hit you with this, I'm going to have you hit me with their usernames or their names, and we'll look them up to find out where they went.
Yes, I did send you a little snap picture of that on your Facebook. But other than that, I don't want to take.
You do the same thing I asked Donna to do. Just send over the latest information. Send over Rover his information, and basically just remind me about the fact that you got a few missing things. Like I said, I was out Friday and over the weekend, but I'm back. I'll be going through them today and tomorrow. We'll get through all of them. So let's make sure we get those people handled along with the diamond ore. We got to appreciate those people buying diamonds and those reps like yourself making sales. Really great job, man. We'll make sure that shows up.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I was touching everybody. I made some phone calls, and I just wanted to follow up. He said if I was not able to follow up with him, he would not know what to do. And I spent almost 2.5 hours on the phone with him. So I'm following the system. I'm doing everything, following the leaders. And thank you so much. Sorry for taking so much time. God bless and take care.
Carlos, thank you very much. And Carlos spent a couple hours on a phone with the guy. And this is somebody who's a big thinker playing at a big level. A diamond is worth $4,000 in commission. So, a couple hours for $4,000 in commission. Hey, man, $2,000 an hour. That's like Wall Street money.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much, Carlos. Really appreciate you, Carlos. Thank you very much, and thanks for sending in those videos. Ladies and gentlemen, we still got about over 20 people here in the queue this morning, so I'm going to do my best to keep it moving briskly. 983, you're next up in the queue. 4983.
Yeah, that's me. Can you
What's
hear
your
me?
name, sir? Yes, I can.
My
what
name
is your name?
George. My name is George McCullum from Owasso, Michigan.
George, how can I help you this morning?
It's my first time speaking on the radio.
Cool.
Yeah, two things here. I set up to be notified by email for the clicks. Those notifications are not coming through my email. Is that a get response question that I need to direct to them?
Greg, do you know the answer to that question for notifications when somebody opts in? I think that's a get response question, correct?
It really is, but I mean, again, it's a super easy notification to turn on and off. I mean, I believe the default setting is off. I mean, you really don't want to get an email every time you get an opt-in or something, but I mean, you can go to your list settings and, like Joe just said, I mean, get response. Their customer service is world class. Just hit them on their live chat. I mean, they'll literally show you where that is in like 30 seconds. So it's a really good place to go, but I really would not recommend turning that on. It'll become a big hassle.
Yeah, it would be annoying probably, right?
Yeah. I'm just telling you, if it's already on, ask them how to turn it off. 'Cause, I mean,
I would have just gone in there. If it bothered me, I just would have gone in there and turned it off, of course. But right now I'm running a small order, so it probably wouldn't bother me at this point. I'm just a few clicks a day.
Feature. I mean, they have a ton of features, and like Joe said, I memean they are so great. They literally have 24-hour-a-day chat customer service 7 days a week. Cannot go wrong. And
Okay.
we're happy, of course, to help with preloading your autoresponders, making sure those things are working. But the individual features of GetResponse, you really will get much better use of your time going to them because they know. I mean, I still go. I must use that at least 2 or 3 times a week myself. I've got questions for them and always get really great service.
All right. On clicks, or managing on the management part of the clicks, I used Click Review, and it counted my reviews as clicks, and so that's costed me 2 clicks. I believe that problem is fixed.
Hold on, let's be very clear though. Just because a click shows up in your Click Brilliance area does not cost you anything. You need to go over to your traffic side inside your active orders. You clicking on stuff is going to have 0 impact on your traffic order click content.
Well, when it occurred, and this was before it started running, it used funds. It showed used funds on those 2 clicks.
You're going to have to send that over to me because, I mean, again, just so you know, I mean, that actually means that 2 clicks from my system was sent to your system. Yeah, that is not you clicking on anything. I guarantee you that. That is very complex stuff in the background. But again, if it went off early, and again, if you get down to the point where you can unpause your campaign, traffic does run once it's open. But again, I'm happy to replace your 2 clicks. Just PM me on Facebook, and I'll give you a credit for those.
And thank you very much, George in Michigan. We're going to continue moving on here. 6634, you're next up.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Lashman here speaking. Rover 123 and Carlos, I think, addressed the problem, most of it. I just want to let you know that I entered the system with a basic, and then I upgraded to Diamond, and then I was waiting patiently and trying to make it work and watching the videos, and Carlos called and told me something about that he's my upline, and I told him I'm having some problems, and he said he will go online and send a support ticket.
Well, you just heard him on the radio communicating directly with Greg Chambers, who's a co-founder, and congratulations on thinking big, on realizing what really you have your hands on here and deciding to play full out at the Diamond level. That's absolutely awesome. So, go ahead.
One more thing. I entered a business during the pre-launch, and I watched all those webinars. And I remember Vincent Ortega, I think he said something about how much money he spent to get into business, and this was a good thing. And after I joined the business with the basic, I said, I'm going to go into the business with both feet, because this guy knows what he's saying, and I don't know anything about network marketing. But this thing sounds too good to be true, so I said, I'm going to go right into it. And I dived right into it, and I think it's still a good thing. It's just a matter that I was patient with it because I realized that such a brand new business has a lot of growing pains. And luckily for Carlos, he called at the right time when I was struggling with to get it off the ground. And hopefully that management will look into my situation, and so I could get this thing rolling.
Well, we have a handle on it, Greg. This woman that Carlos was just talking about, who's made the decision to play out at the Diamond level. Congratulations on your, your intuitive nature, right? You hear somebody like, Vincent Ortega talking about what does it really take to have success, and you've maximized your opportunity for success in a couple fronts. Sheer volume, you're playing at a high level, 8,000 clicks, which is going to really that's really going to bring you into the list business, having a list that's robust pretty quickly, and also just your approach to business is something that I commend. Greg Chambers, this is the gentleman who just moved to Diamond Basic.
That's exciting, and we'll definitely get that Diamond order to show up in his back office. I'll make sure the right signature and everything is squared away, and we'll get that we'll definitely get that in your back office today, and we'll get all of those other things handled as well. So, yeah, but it's exciting to see people, like you just said, Joe. I mean, again, people are starting to see the longer-term version of this. They're really, understanding they want to build their list, and they also want to have a story to tell when people are joining their business. I mean, how did you get started? And I don't want to take away anything from people who started basic, because that's what they could do, and they could tell a story that, hey, I'm going to earn my way up. But I'm just saying it's a very different story when you say, hey, it wasn't easy for me, but I committed. And I've actually, been successful in business in the past where that commitment made all the difference between, people actually following my lead. I mean, that's just, part of being the leader, and it's really great to see, Rover 123 doing exactly that.
And thank you, Lasserman, calling in. Good morning, 5691. Let me get you off mute here. 5691, you're next.
Hey guys, it's Steve Schumacher in Portland, Oregon, representing Nancy Flint's awesome team. I want to say to anybody that is that's complaining about spending money and not seeing results, who gives a crap? I mean, I'm sorry to be blunt, but I've spent, I got a basic package, and I'm seeing more leads than I have ever than all the Facebook posts I've done. And I'm not worried about the money being there right now, because I know it will be eventually.
It will. Thank you very much, Steve. I really appreciate you jumping out here. It really is true. We do give a crap about people spending money, and we're going to do our best to educate people on what this really is about, this program, and the kind of results that can happen. And 2238, you're next up in the queue.
Hey, Joe, Preston Gaming, how you doing?
Preston, how are you? What's going on?
Fine. I want to give a shout-out to my group of Ronnie, H.L. Young, and Tawanda Arnold. These guys have followed me. You took my word and followed me to see you guys, and I can see their confidence growing. I really appreciate you, man, and I just feel good that I have a team that's in my footsteps.
Well, thank you very much, Preston, for showing up here this morning and for your kind words. And congratulations to your team and everybody on Preston's team. It's follow the leader, man. One of the things that I know for a fact is that what you think about is what you bring about. And you have a tendency, believe it or not, at the end of the day, this law of attraction thing that we talk about often, is that when you look into your organization and you look at your team, you will find that by and large it's a reflection of who you are and how you're behaving. How are you thinking? Right? Is it obvious to you now that Carlos in New York City is attracting people like Lasserman into his business, who is playing big and moving from basic all the way up to diamond? Because Carlos is that guy first. He's the guy who shows up here every single week, who's working at JOB, working as a bartender, and he's talking to people. 1111 across the board. Ace, how are you doing? You're off mute.
Hello.
Hello. I can hear you. Hello.
Hello, Joe.
Yes, this is he. Hello? That sounds like an overseas call, somebody calling in on Skype. I'm sorry, I don't. Let's keep it moving. 5751, you're next up.
Hey, what's going on, Joe? Traffic Authority, what's going on?
Just hanging with the big dogs. Who's this?
This is Anthony in Maryland, representing Team Real Freedom.
Anthony in Maryland, how are you doing today?
Man, it's an awesome day. Just want to let everybody know that those traffic packages are super incredible. I've started making my list for Traffic Authority, and I switched my link to my other opportunity, and I'm building a list with that. Just in the last couple of days, I've got several leads. Never have had that many leads come with all the Facebook posts, Twitter posts, and content posting that I've been doing. I submitted a video to let you guys just see some of my results, and I'm just ecstatic.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you for submitting that video. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get Doug Wellens to the table and talk to him about another content. It's been a couple of weeks since we gave away some iPads, and so I'm going to have to get Doug, because thank you much, Anthony, for sending in videos. Really appreciate that. So I don't know, Mr. Doug Wellens, but I'm calling you out, bro. I'm putting you on notice that we're going to get some kind of a contest going here very, very soon.
Let's do it.
We will do it. So stay tuned for that. That's another reason you guys got to show up here, because you never know what we're going to do out of the clear blue sky. Thank you, Andy from Maryland. He just stimulated a contest. We're going to be giving away some really cool electronics. Thank you very much, Mr. Doug Wellens. Let's go back. Let me see if I can bring out this person who was calling in from overseas. Again, you're calling in on Skype. I've got all ones. You said, Joe, can you hear me? Yes. And then all of a sudden I couldn't. Hello. Let's try again.
Joe?
Hello. Yes, this is Joe. Let's try again. May I help you?
Do you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Joe.
Okay, hold on. All right, so you can hear me. What's your question? I'm sorry. What's your name first?
My name is Deval from South Africa.
Deval in South Africa, man. That's a long way from Carefree, Arizona. How can I help you this morning, Deval?
My man, thanks, guys. It's my first time calling in. And, thank you. Firstly, thank you for everything you guys are doing. And I just want to quickly ask a couple of things or follow up on a few things, if that's okay.
Sure, go ahead. What's up?
Okay, the first thing is, and I have a similar issue as one of the earlier callers with a person that signed up in my pre-launch and showed up in my downline area there, and they converted and became a paying customer, and they do not show up in my downline or in my commissions area, their transactions in my traffic authority site. So I have opened a ticket 10 days ago or so already, and I haven't had a response there, so I'm not sure if there is a known problem, or should I just wait a bit longer, or...
Let me get your Deval, if I can get from you your username.
Okay, my username is DWROSSOUW. So it's my initials basically and my surname. So it's DWROSSOUW.
Okay, let me get it right. It's DWROSSU.
OUW. After the double S, it ends with O for Oscar, U for uniform, W for whiskey.
Okay, DWROSSOUW.
That's correct.
Okay, I got that into the system. And do you know the username of the person that should be showing up in your downline but is not?
Unfortunately, I don't. But obviously, I did put her name and her email address into the ticket when I created it, that I got from my downline section in the pre-launch back office.
Okay.
The specific, yeah.
Is there any chance you can copy and paste that, Joe, to a Facebook post to me? Because I'll take care of it today.
If you have a copy of the support ticket that you sent in, then you can copy.
You can just find that email address and name. Same idea. I will look it up.
If you could take the time to go to Facebook and you can do a direct message to Greg Chambers with that information, we'll fact check for you this morning.
Okay. Greg, do you want me to send you the ticket number that contains the info, or actually copy and paste the actual?
If you just send me the info, I'm going to just take care of it for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's the first thing, and then I will do that soon after the call. The other question, and this is just something I want to make sure, whether there was a problem over the weekend with the credit card payments or the merchants, because I signed up a lady and I actually helped her on Skype by sharing screens to go through everything. And when she made the initial $47 payment, it kind of went through, and her bank sent her a notice saying reserved on your credit card, $47 for traffic authority. But traffic authorities didn't seem to get the payment, and it still remained reserved when when we stopped the call. She went to her bank and logged in, and it shows $47 reserved, but it actually didn't kind of look to be finishing the transaction. Now, I managed to speak to another downline of mine earlier this morning, and he had an email back from a sign-up that tried to pay, and she said she ran into the same problem yesterday. It went on a credit card statement, but it just remains saying reserved, and she couldn't.
Joe, I think I understand this. It's saying that it's basically reserved is probably their same terminology for authorized, but not charged. And again, the truth is we do have problem with some credit cards not going through our fraud system, which would cause exactly that to happen. That authorization will fall off. Again, and those are caused by several different reasons. Sometimes it's that 10-mile rule between your statement address and where you're logging in from the internet. And there are other just things that come up. There are certain countries, certain areas that cause more issues than others. And all I can say, Joe, to this is that understand these are fairly rare, but we have no choice but to kind of set the fraud settings relatively high. This is an international opportunity, and believe I've seen other people know when we have had plenty of attempts of people trying to order in a fraudulent way who have all been basically denied at the source. And the bad news is once in a while a valid charge is going to be denied. I mean, all I can say, and it's always something bizarre. I mean, you have people using other people's credit cards. You have people, for whatever reason, don't live near their own billing address on their own statements. That's just going to be a very problematic thing for us. We're going to err on the side of caution. And it doesn't matter where in the world you live, those same rules apply. With that said, if you don't live close to your own billing address, I mean, that's just going to be an issue. We're going to have to create a way to resolve this as we move forward, because we do hear this. I mean, we now have close to 5,000 reps, and we're hearing this complaint, probably 10 times a week. We don't want to turn down any valid charges. Believe me, we're not doing this on purpose. We're doing this to protect people. But in the meantime, we're going to have like a bank wire or some kind of resolution for people who really want to order. But I will tell you, we will always have the fraud system set up to hide, because we would not be in business for 1 week if we did not have it. I mean, every e-commerce business is constantly under attack, and you have to have it. It's just that simple. And we have one of the most advanced fraud systems in the world. So, we're never going to have a problem. Well, I shouldn't say never, but I mean, we do everything we can to avoid it. But I mean, again, with that said, unfortunately, we're going to have an issue from time to time, losing, a legitimate order. And I don't know what to say for this one individual. It is what it is. Maybe try another card. Maybe they've got some, unique situation happening. And in the meantime, if they can pull a card that, happens to have an address close to where they're logging into the internet, that's going to really help them make their order. That's all I'm going to say on that, Joe. And with that, I don't know what more to say other than we'll keep you guys posted. Within 90 days, we'll have some other alternatives for you guys. But for now, that's just a reality.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, and obviously, we're thankful for the security and things. Just to, as a last thing to add to that, the lady that I actually helped, she didn't have a problem with the reserved amount possibly being reserved and trying it again, and she tried a second time with the same card, and then it went through and actually charged. So, she's now going to put in a support ticket if that reserved one perhaps charge, and then it creates a double charge.
I can cancel the authorization, in real time. It'll automatically fall off within like 15 days, but I can cancel it so it goes away like today. So, again, if you want to send me a message with her complete name and what country she's in to Greg Chambers on Facebook, it's private message to me, and again, that takes like 2 minutes, so it's no problem.
Yeah. No problem. I'll add that to the message. And now the last thing is the last big question, and it's the biggest one. I have a downline member that joined pre-launch, and they're new to marketing, so they part of my group and part of Devon Brown's ESS group and the services that goes with that. So at some point she ran some traffic pre-launch that was arranged by Devon and them, and also she activated a package or an order in Traffic Authority a week ago and had about 70 clicks. Now she, at some point after the clicks from ESS, there was no sign-ups, and I found it strange, but I couldn't put my finger on what's wrong. So what happened, long story short, she and between entering her username for Traffic Authority that obviously in Devon's system populates for the certain buttons, to the sales pages or wherever, she put her username in differently than what the real username or the actual username in Traffic Authority is. And I yesterday took a remote PC and I took the faulty or the wrong username and I signed up or opened a pre-launch account to see if, where I show up, and to then log in and see who shows up as the sponsor, which it shows Traffic Authority being the sponsor directly. So my question is, is it possible that you can perhaps see and which people or pre-launch sign-ups or possible sales are hanging in the system with that traffic or tracking ID or username that she did all this time with? That's actually not her correct one.
You see, let me jump in here if I may, Deval. Thank you very much for calling in from South Africa. And I think there's a lesson here. I don't know, Greg, if we can go and claim clicks that are stuck because somebody used the wrong username or they actually entered information. This kind of like, and Deval, thank you very much. I have to move on. We've only got time for a couple more here, but this is one of the things. We here at Traffic Authority have that thing that we have in there that everybody is wondering about, the pending link. And it sounds to me like somebody was sending out links with the wrong information after the fact, or using, you'd mentioned another system that's out there, and we really can't manage what people are doing in other people's systems. And if they get cute and start putting in different usernames because they're testing stuff, we understand entrepreneurs are always outside of the box and testing things, but at some point in time it's out of our control. And I think really I don't know, and I know that Deval, you're in direct connection with Greg Chambers. Right now he's looking at like 50 people this morning who have given him a direct message. So Deval, just take that question that you were just sharing here directly to Greg, and let's see if we can get out of here in the next 7 minutes. 5649, you're next up in the queue.
Good morning, Joe. It's Bert from
Good morning.
Cannon Lake.
Hey, Bert, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Just listening to the TA family, all the ninjas. I do have a shout-out for Shalane.
Mm-hmm.
Not Charlene, but Shalane.
Mm-hmm.
She is in Paris right now. And
really?
She might be listening in. It's about 6:53 p.m., so she might have already had dinner. She might be listening in, but we're so proud of her on our team for rocking her business big time these first 29 days. She already made enough commissions to cross off a bucket list item by purchasing a last-minute trip to Paris. So congratulations, Shalane.
Thank you very much. And let's be clear, is that Paris, Texas, or Paris, France?
Paris, France.
That's amazing. Shalane, if you're listening, we are proud of you. As a matter of fact, the other day, Greg Chambers was just, we had a brief communication regarding Shalane because she is so talented and she is so eloquent, and we're looking to buff out. As you guys know, we're building something here that is known as the the Traffic Control Board, and we're going to be electing people to become members of the Traffic Control Board very, very soon. And Shalane's name is on that list. Thank you very much this morning, Bert. I know you've been hanging around here for a while in the queue. Again, we appreciate you. Let's keep it moving. 1775, you are next up in the queue. 1775. Where are you? 17. There you are. My system is moving right in front of my face. 1775, you're next up. Hello? 1775. I would say that's the easiest question we've had all day, Greg. 9033, you're next up.
Oh, crap.
9033. Hello.
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 Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
hello, how are
Tahir
you?
from
What's
Los
your
Angeles.
name?
Tahir?
How are you today? Yes, Tahir.
I'm doing good. I just want to keep it quick. You guys are so patient. It's so awesome. Thank you very much. The 90-day challenge, did you guys talk about that at the beginning of the call? Because I missed it, and if so, I'll just go back and re-listen to it.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you hung around because, and Tahir, I want to thank you for waiting, being patient. Tahir, you're going to be the last person this morning. We really have to move on here. Greg Chambers, you put it out there this morning, a 90-day challenge, and that was like nearly 2 hours ago. And Tahir is now here asking about, Greg, we got to come together with the team and put together a real 90-day challenge, some benchmarks and some significant rewards for people who hit the target. Because we don't have it yet, Tahir.
You know, I can guarantee you, Joe, what's on my mind is that, daily marketing plan and the ones implementing that and the ones, basically, moving forward. So I cannot, say what it is at this moment, and I also will not put something together willy-nilly. But I love the idea of the 90-day challenge, and it's interesting, as you know, Joe, we have a 4 p.m. call with, with all the talking heads, and it's just something that would be really great to float, and I do believe it would be a fantastic idea. So, and it's just one of those really tangible, get your head around. It's a short period of time. Everybody can do it, and boy, it'll be moving us right into our events. So,
there it is.
Yeah, there you have it, my friend.
And you just said something, and thank you very much, Greg. We're in total alignment. Our event. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about events, and the first of the year is coming. How cool will it be when we come together at the very first event and we celebrate the success, certainly of the people who took 90-day challenge? I got a feeling those people follow through the 90-day challenge. We're going to be giving them some of those big, giant checks. I can't wait to see you guys trying to get those checks onto the airplane. Those checks actually will clear, by the way. Listen, I want to thank everybody who took the time to hear, especially you, Bert, for being so patient and waiting till the very end. Deval calling in from South Africa. Wasserman was calling in from somewhere overseas, Georgia and Michigan. Carlos in New York City. Kathy Moses, thank you for coming here this morning. I can go on and on. Tony in Texas. Frank in Myrtle Beach. We love you, my brother. Holly coming right out of the gate, Barry in Tucson. So many names, it's impossible for me to remember them all. I've got them on a sheet of paper, though. Listen, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at radioleverage.com. We'll do our best to get your questions answered. Make sure that you're tuned into Facebook because that's where we get information coming out to you in the nanosecond. So make sure that you're there and watch your email, okay? Make sure that we are whitelisted, that trafficauthority.net is getting through to you because you're going to be seeing email from us every single day. Tomorrow we're going to have some swipe files and some stuff that you can go there and begin posting on Facebook. Again, it's been a wonderful morning on behalf of everybody in the Facebook team, or in the trafficauthority.net team. I want to thank you guys. Thank you very, very much. The pleasure is all ours, for sure.